Situation: you want to become a more confident person. Here are 3 ways to build confidence. 1. Set and achieve small personal goals. 2. Practice positive self-talk and affirmations. 3. Try new experiences that challenge you. Which do you think is the most effective and why?
To build confidence, I believe the most effective method is to set and achieve small personal goals. This approach creates a sense of progress and self-belief. When we complete even small tasks successfully, it sends a message to our brain that we are capable and trustworthy. Positive self-talk and trying new experiences are helpful, but they often lack structure or consistency. On the other hand, goal setting provides clear direction and measurable outcomes. For example, when I wanted to become more confident in public speaking, I started by setting small weekly goals like speaking in front of a mirror, then to a friend, and eventually to a group. Each step gave me a small win, which built up my confidence over time. That's why I believe starting with achievable goals and building from there is the most practical and sustainable way to grow self-confidence.
Situation: you want to earn money as a student. Here are 3 part-time job options. 1. Working as a tutor for younger students. 2. Serving in a cafe or restaurant. 3. Doing freelance work online, like writing or design. Which do you think is the best choice and why?
Among these options, I think the best choice for a student is to work as a tutor for younger students. Tutoring not only helps you earn money but also reinforces your own knowledge and improves your communication skills. It usually offers flexible hours and a decent hourly rate, which is ideal for students with busy schedules. Working in a cafe is more physically demanding and often comes with late hours. Freelancing is a great option too, but it requires more self-discipline and experience to find consistent clients. Personally, when I worked as a tutor, I found it meaningful to help others while reviewing subjects I was also studying. It gave me both confidence and practical teaching skills. That's why I believe tutoring is the best combination of income, skill development, and flexibility for students.
Situation: you want to stay healthy during a stressful exam period. Here are 3 actions you can take. 1. Eat nutritious meals and avoid junk food. 2. Schedule regular exercise, even short walks. 3. Get enough sleep every night. Which do you think is the most important and why?
To stay healthy during exams, I believe the most important thing is to get enough sleep every night. Sleep directly affects our brain function, memory, and emotional balance. Without it, even if we eat well or exercise, our ability to focus and retain information drops significantly. Many students try to stay up late to study, thinking it helps, but in fact, it reduces their efficiency. I experienced this myself during my first year in university, and I performed much worse in exams when I was sleep deprived. Eating healthy and exercising are essential too, but they can't fully compensate for the damage caused by poor sleep habits. That's why I think prioritizing sleep is the smartest choice for physical and mental health during high-pressure periods like exams.
Situation: you have a year off before starting university. Here are 3 things you could do. 1. Travel to new countries and learn about different cultures. 2. Take short courses or certifications to gain new skills. 3. Volunteer for a meaningful cause in your community. Which do you think is the best way to spend your gap year and why?
If I had a gap year, I think the best way to spend it would be to volunteer for a meaningful cause in my community. Volunteering not only benefits others but also helps you grow as a person. You learn responsibility, empathy, teamwork, and real-world problem-solving, qualities that are essential for both university and life in general. While traveling and taking courses are enriching, they can be expensive and mostly benefit the individual. Volunteering, on the other hand, allows you to make a difference while also gaining valuable life experience. I volunteered at a local shelter during high school, and it taught me more about leadership and compassion than any textbook ever could. That's why I think community service is the most meaningful and transformative way to spend a gap year.
Situation: you want to be more organized in your daily routine. Here are 3 strategies you can try. 1. Use a digital calendar or planner. 2. Create a daily checklist of tasks. 3. Declutter your physical and digital space regularly. Which do you think is the most helpful and why?
To become more organized, I believe the most helpful strategy is to create a daily checklist of tasks. A checklist helps you keep track of your responsibilities and provides a clear sense of progress throughout the day. It reduces mental clutter because you don't have to remember everything in your head. Using a planner is also great, but it's more for long-term planning, while a checklist focuses on daily action. Decluttering your space is helpful too, but it's something you do occasionally, not every day. Personally, writing down 5 to 6 key tasks every morning helps me stay focused and productive. It also gives me a sense of satisfaction when I tick them off. That's why I think a daily checklist is the simplest but most effective habit for building an organized life.
Situation: you want to improve your time management. Here are 3 ways you could do it. 1. Make a to-do list each morning. 2. Set specific time blocks for tasks. 3. Limit time spent on social media. Which do you think is the most effective and why?
To manage my time better, I believe the most effective method is to set specific time blocks for tasks. This strategy helps ensure that each task has its own space in the day, reducing the risk of procrastination or multitasking. By assigning clear time limits, I become more focused and less likely to waste time. While making to-do lists is helpful for knowing what needs to be done, it doesn't always push me to do things promptly. Similarly, limiting social media is important, but it's just one part of the bigger picture. Personally, using a time-blocking schedule like, from 9 to 10, study math, from 10 to 11, write my essay, has helped me stick to deadlines and feel in control of my day. That's why I think setting time blocks is the most effective way to manage time.
Situation: you're a student who wants to save money. Here are 3 strategies. 1. Cook meals at home instead of eating out. 2. Track all your spending in a notebook or app. 3. Avoid buying unnecessary items like clothes or gadgets. Which do you think is the most useful way to save money and why?
As a student, I think the most useful way to save money is to cook meals at home instead of eating out. Food can be one of the biggest daily expenses, especially for students living in cities. Cooking at home is not only cheaper but often healthier and more satisfying. Tracking expenses is helpful too, but just knowing where your money goes doesn't always change behavior. And avoiding unnecessary purchases is good advice, but what's unnecessary can be subjective. Personally, I saved a lot by meal prepping on Sundays and bringing lunch to school. I could use that extra money for books or other needs. That's why I believe home cooking is the smartest and most consistent way for students to save.
Situation: you want to become more fluent in English. Here are 3 methods. 1. Practice speaking with native speakers. 2. Watch movies and repeat dialogues aloud. 3. Record yourself speaking and listen to the playback. Which do you think is the most effective and why?
To improve English speaking fluency, I believe the most effective way is to practice speaking with native speakers. Interacting with real people forces you to use English naturally, in real time. You also get instant feedback on pronunciation and grammar, which helps correct mistakes. Watching movies and repeating lines is fun and helps with pronunciation, but it's still passive learning. Recording yourself is good for self-awareness, but it lacks interaction. When I had regular online conversations with native tutors, my fluency improved faster than with any other method. That's why I think speaking directly with others is the most powerful way to build real-world communication skills.
Situation: you feel overwhelmed and want to reduce stress. Here are 3 ways to do that. 1. Meditate for a few minutes each day. 2. Talk to a trusted friend or family member. 3. Exercise regularly. Which do you think is the most effective and why?
To reduce stress, I think the most effective method is to exercise regularly. Physical activity helps release endorphins, which are natural mood boosters. It also improves sleep and overall mental health. Just a 20-minute walk can clear your mind and reduce anxiety. Meditation and talking to someone are also helpful, but exercise has both mental and physical benefits. It doesn't require deep emotional sharing or high discipline like meditation might. Personally, whenever I feel stressed, I go for a jog or do some stretching, and I always feel better afterward. That's why I believe regular exercise is the most effective and accessible way to manage stress.
Situation: you want to learn a new skill like coding, painting, or photography. Here are 3 approaches. 1. Watch free tutorials on YouTube. 2. Take an online course with a certificate. 3. Join an online community or group for support. Which do you think is the best method and why?
To learn a new skill online, I believe the best method is to take an online course with a certificate. Structured courses usually offer clear lessons, assignments, and feedback. The certificate also motivates you to complete the course, especially if you want to include the skill on your CV. Watching YouTube tutorials is free and flexible, but often disorganized. Joining a group is great for motivation, but it works best after you've built some foundation. For example, I took a certified course on web development, and it gave me both confidence and credibility when applying for internships. That's why I think formal online courses offer the best balance of structure, depth, and recognition when learning something new.